Hello there, Board Game Maniacs, and thanks for joining for another episode. Join me today as we talk about this DIY airbrush booth that was built out of a scrap piece of wood. For this airbrush booth, I was walking down the road one day and somebody had thrown a top of a table out. So what I did is I just took it home because it was free wood and I could always use free wood, and I put it away until I decided what I wanted to build with it, and I built this airbrush booth with it. The lighting is a little dark, and that is because this here is my paint room where I only have lights where I need them, mostly not just like general lights as opposed to that one, but other two as well. The light booth is all up. We'll go through all of this piece by piece. I went online and I looked at a whole bunch of different homemade airbrush booths and professional airbrush booths. I can't even talk right now. And I come up with this kind of design, and it was primarily used, like I said, with an old scrap table that I found that somebody was throwing out, except for the top piece here. This was a piece of chipboard. And if anybody don't know what chipboard, this is pretty much the most inexpensive sheets of wood that you could use for construction. And chipboard, what it is just like your scrap pieces of wood that has been cut and everything and shaved all down and then glued together and compressed to make sheets of wood like that. So that is the only thing that I use from a different piece of scrap that I had. And then the table, and then I had all the other requirements needed for this. When I say all the requirements needed for this is I previously built an old airbrush booth out of Tupperware containers, well, Rubbermaid containers, the big, and I turned it on inside like the big containers that you use storing stuff. And then I just bought a bathroom fan, which I did scrap from my other one. I took from my other one. You can see it's kind of, lighting is dark, like I said. I apologize for this. See if we can bring some more light on the subject. A little bit more. All right, there we go. So with this here, this is just your general bathroom fan. I'm going to change this, and the reason why is because it is recommended that if you're making an airbrush booth, to use a fan that has the ability to, it's kind of like fire resistant. I don't know exactly how it's explained. I can't remember because it's been a while since I looked it up. But when you are spraying paint, especially like rattle can paint or anything inside an airbrush, the fumes will get collected, I should say, and molecules will get collected into the fan. And by chance, a very rare chance, it could spark and create a fire, because everybody knows that paint molecules are flammable. But you can get special fans that will stop that. This is not one of them special fans. This is just your cheap $25 Home Depot kind of Arona fan. And that's what I did for that. I used that already, and you can see I built my own using just slots of wood, scrap wood. I built a frame around it, and on top of that I used silicone and hot glue too as well. So this here hose, this dryer duct hose, dryer duct vent, it was vented outside originally, but now it's vented into my own filtration system that I built, which we're going to talk about shortly too as well. I call this booth a portable. The reason why, because you can see it's on a trolley cart. It's a metal trolley cart that's used for doing mechanical work. It's very strong and tough. So I built the frame out of the table, and then I bolted it to this trolley cart. So it's on wheels and it can be moved anywhere I want. If I want to take this downstairs, it'll fit through all my doorways. I can do it wherever. And because it is a portable system, as in you don't have to vent it outside to get the fumes away, that you can pretty much paint anywhere you want for this. For the fan, you can see here, I just wire it directly because it comes with wires so you can wire it directly in. But what I did is I cut a tip of an extension cord cable, you can see here, and it goes around and it plugs. It's kind of dark here, but it's plugging into a power bar that I bought at like the local dollar store, 2 power bars. It's probably the most that I spent on this was about $2 to $5, $10 actually, because I had to buy a new bucket. But in either case, that's the most that I spent on this because I had everything else. But anyhow, this is wired in, and then I got an extension cord here that is hot glued both to the booth and the fan, so it's not going to move anywhere. I got my power bars plugged into this, and this extension cord actually wraps around here, and then it goes to a power supply, which is on my charging wall right there. And inside the booth, we're going to go into this a little bit more, but I just want to let everybody know that once I turn the power on, it's going to get a little noisy, and that is because simply the bathroom fan it's not super noisy, but you know, it may jump over the audio a bit, so I'm just letting you know about that. So anyhow, inside here, you can see well, you can't really see, I'll turn the light on, but I built my own filtration unit here. So this is actually, this whole system is filtered. 1 filter, 2 filters, 3 filters total. A triple filtration system, which is really cool because then it's going to capture more. Actually, if you really count it, there's 4 filtration because of the water counts too as well, which I'll explain anyhow. So I'm going to turn this on and just to let you know it's going to get a little noisy. So I'll try to, I got my lav mic on so it shouldn't be too bad. But we're going to turn it on right now. And to turn it on, we have the fan. Right, I got my power bar turned off to this. So I turn this on and there's an LED light into this, so I know I'm getting power to the unit. And you can hear the fan running. I'll quiet in a second. And you can see it's lit up in here because I have a light here. And I have another light right there. And also I have 2 more lights. These ones here, different temperature. I can turn them on if I want. These are just touch lights and they're behind. So hopefully I won't get any of the paint onto it. My dog's barking. I'll be back in a minute. I gotta see what's going on. I'm just gonna take the miniatures out that I'm airbrushing right now. Well, basing them out first. And you can see this is all Judge Dredd miniatures because I'm gonna play some more Judge Dredd. I never played on the channel yet. I finished one painted guy right here at, which I really like the turn. You can check that out to my Facebook page, man. We're gonna take this Lazy Susan out of the way so we can look at the filtration system. Now, this is the filtration system. You can tell I've already used it just a little bit because it's still kind of new and I want to get the airbrushing done for all my miniatures because I have a total huge plastic pile of shame that I got to work through. Anyhow, I already talked about the lights and that, and I also talked about the power cable. Oh, by the way, you can turn off the lights separately. You can see there they have different switches for every one of them so that I can turn off whatever lights I want or leave whatever lights I want on. I may actually run up some LED strips along the top that make more light in here because you can never have too much light when you're painting. Anyhow, this is the filtration system that I'm talking about. So with this filtration system, I got some pegboard again. It didn't cost me anything. I went to buy pegboard, but they were throwing pegboard out at the local lumber store and I only need a little piece, so I took it and hey, it worked. So this here is a flap to help the paint from stopping from going in this way, because this is where I take and remove the first filter. And on top of that, it's only duct tape. That's all I did. And then I went to the hardware store and I found some filters. So here's a filter here, and you can see the filter system is very easy to take out. And you can tell that it's working because the filter, I just put this in recently and it's still kind of dirty. But I bought a pack of 4 of these, but if I run out of these kind of filters, like if they stop selling the 14x8 filters, I can always just cut a filter to fit it in here. And that's why I made it like this, to make it easier to be able to exchange filters or replace them. Also, what I did with the wiring, this here blue one is just for the fan alone. Everything else, so if I want to just disconnect the blue one, the fan, to turn it off, I just unplug that. And you can see as we turn around here, oh, I'm knocking down my lights over. You can see there that the lights are still and everything, it's just the fan is not going. Now for this filtration system. Before that, you can see I have a shelf here. I can put all my stuff onto it that I use for doing my airbrush stuff. Just so everybody knows, some water, Windex, you know, like a airbrush for cleaning and blah, 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 all that stuff. And my airbrushes on the bottom. So now this is what I wanted to talk about. I've seen this video and I researched stuff onto this. I'm gonna just pull this out because there's water into this. One moment. All right, so with this filtration system that I built, I got the idea because way back when they were, you know, like in the 60s, not painting the cars, and a lot of people were painting just in their garages. They didn't have proper filtration system or anything for painting cars, like get all fumey into their garage or wherever. So what they did is they'd take a couple of these 5-gallon buckets. I just got this off of Rona, I'm not supporting Rona, and they'd drill holes in the top. They'd put water in the bottom of the bucket. And when I say water in the bottom, I mean like by about this much, you know, like 6 inches maybe of water. And what the purpose of the water was for is so that specifically when the fan is turned on, the fumes and the particles go in through the filter, it gets filtered through the filtration system there, and whatever the filters don't grab, it's going to come down because the fan is sucking the force of all the particles in here, and it goes into this system. And you can see that I got holes drilled in the top, and I'll show you why in a second. But before we do this, this is silicone and hot glue around here too as well. And this here is like some kind of furnace union, so that it's kind of like you can drop down the sizes. I can't remember the proper name for it because I am no furnace technician. But anyhow, it's a reducer. So it reduces from one size to the other. So I found a reducer to fit for this hose. I got a clamp on it to hold it in place too as well. And now if we open up this top and look at this, you can see the bottom half comes in here, and I also hot glued the heck of it around there, and silicone too before hot glue, because I want this to be sealed up as best as possible. So I'm just going to move the lid out of the way there for a second. And you can see here, this is my own custom filter that I built. So I bought a furnace filter that was larger than the circumference of the 5-gallon barrel bucket. And then what I did is I just took the lid, I laid it on the furnace filter, traced it out, and I cut it out. And I taped it around because originally furnace filters have cardboard around it, and that's the only thing that they have to sustain the rigidity of them. So there's no cardboard, but I just taped duct tape around it for rigidity to hold it in place. You can see that because of this, I just started using this, and you can already see like it's filtering a lot of crap out. And I made like just a quick duct tape handle here, so that when I want to take the filter out, and even to change it, you know, like you just take it, lift it up, no problem. And you can see there the filter is still working because it's darker there, it's dark there, and it is off color around the edges here. So when this gets sucked down, it's dispersing and going into the water. You can see here the water got a little bit of particles into it. The only thing that I would mention about this is that with the water, you don't want the water to start becoming stagnant. And what I mean by stagnant is water that sits for a while, it starts smelling and very, very disgusting. So to alleviate this, what I did is I bought some lavender essential oils, and I dropped a couple of drops into this bucket, into the water. And you can see I also have a piece of just standard yellow tape, rope that's used for anything. And it's like the 3-braid rope. This is only one braid of it. I unraveled it, and then I hot glued it to make a rim. And the reason why I made a rim, it's kind of twofold. It's so the filter can fit into it, and the filter's not going to fall through. Plus, you can see that this filter is got a bump onto it. It's concave, not convex. It's concave. Convex this way, concave that way. But anyhow, it's kind of sucked in. And the reason why is because when I originally made this filter, I made it so it was level, and then because of this little spout here, the larger spout that's sticking out through, I made it so that when it comes in contact with this, and because this filter is got the metal mesh, pushing on it's not going to hurt it. It kind of pushed it down, so it created more of an airtight seal around here, so that when the particles flow through from the first filter down the hose into the reducer, or whatever you want to call it, and it hits this filtration unit, it's airtight, so it's going to push the particles and everything through the filter, come out this way, go down into the bucket to where it's going to hit the water. The water is going to capture any more particles, plus it's going to alleviate the smell of if you're using like a rattle can or any kind of stinky paint. And the lavender that's put in the water, the bucket is an enclosed surface, so the air that's pressured putting down there is going to be pushed back up again. And because this here is centered onto the center of the filter, it don't have enough force to push it up back through the hose. So it's going to push around where it can go through. And that is where I drilled these holes, because if I didn't put these holes into it and close it, something was going to happen. That is, the air is definitely going to be forced, the pressure forced up through the downspout. And also it's probably going to create like a poor suction onto your bucket, because it's going to keep popping. But by drilling these holes in here, that is the DIY airbrush booth that I built. It's just a little break from playing Aliens. Not that we need a break, because I love that game. This is more of a filler episode, so it gives more time for anybody who's watching and want to comment to let us know what moves for the Marines to do in the next episode. Because you, the viewer, subscriber, is going to determine how this game is played for the next couple of episodes. That's why I did it. So remember, go back to that video, turn 10 and 11, and comment and let me know what you think they should do if you didn't already. And I hope you enjoyed this this talk about this DIY airbrush booth that I created. Now, unfortunately, there's no plans for this, is because I did it all out of my head. I didn't draw anything down. I just pre-measured I was going along just to make sure I had enough wood to fit to just use the wood for that throwing a table, but apparently I didn't do enough calculation because I used chipboard up top, like I said. But anyhow, if anybody is interested into the dimensions of this and the shape in that, I can probably do up some plans to help anybody who wants to build their own airbrush booth like this, or just their own. I can try to give you some insight. The reason why I'm saying this is because I've been in the film industry for a long time, doing many jobs, directing, special effects, prop making, wardrobe, and so forth. And I learned how to make props and construction and everything else too as well. And because of this, I kind of carried over the education I got from other jobs into this job. It's like construction. My brother owns a very large construction company. I used to build houses with him on my time off during the movies, and you know, I learned how to build construction. So again, I'm applying everything I learned in my lifetime, moving it ahead and just constantly upgrading. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this Board Game Maniacs. Comment below and let me know what you thought of this DIY airbrush booth. If you have anything that you think I should add to it to make it better, I would love to hear that, because I'm always wanting to upgrade even more just to make things run a little better and smoother, to get better videos, better miniatures, and everything else. So comment below and let me know. And until next time, be a maniac, and we'll see you in space for the next Alien episode on the next Starbound Saturday. Next Saturday. Boop, boop, be a maniac. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to keep up to date with Board Game Maniacs, click on the like and subscribe button to be notified when more videos come available. If you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, go to patreon.com/BoardGameManiacs. Or you can go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. That's right, and you can donate to help keep the lights on, keep food in our bellies, and play more games. We'll purchase more games, more equipment to make Board Game Maniacs evolve and get bigger and larger. Because of you, the viewers, I thank you from the bottom of my toes to the top of my head for all of your support. And until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac.